What's up, y'all? It's time for another episode of Throwback Thursday. This time we got Pro Evolution Soccer 2010, PES 2010, and we all know the deal with PES. I mean, the situation is with this game is it has run into a situation where it was pretty much the preferred world football game out there for years. FIFA came along with all of the power of its licensing and a increasingly solid gameplay engine, and it took over, really did. So in this particular game, it's Real Madrid versus Manchester United. Now, keep in mind, this is 2009, so the rosters for each side is obviously not quite what you know of these squads today. Wayne Rooney his ratings are way different basically now than they are with FIFA 14. So just look at this roster there for Real Madrid. It's got some different guys there. Xabi Alonso. So hey, you see what I mean with the rosters, which is a cool thing about doing Throwback Thursdays, getting to go back and look and see what these rosters look like back then. As for the game itself, let's talk about the actual the ratings. Now, I'll tell you, the only real world football game that I play regularly is FIFA. So the controls are different unless you change them. So if you watch a person play PES who normally plays FIFA, you'll see the fact that they're used to playing FIFA really quick, and that's probably what you're seeing from me right now, because the controls that I'm used to are for FIFA. So just know that moving forward. Let's talk about the ratings, though. If you look at Metacritic, the Metacritic score for Pro Evolution PES 2010 was a 7.7. So it was based on 23 reviews. 17 of them were positive, 2 of them were mixed, and 4 were negative. So that's pretty solid. That's not too bad. You're not gonna get very much better than that. I don't care what game it is, you're not gonna see like positivity across the board. It just doesn't work that way. But going more specifically, IGN gave the game actually a 7.7, which is exactly what Metacritic's overall score was. Kotaku gave it. They don't actually give the grades or whatever, like a number grade. So they had some things like the things that they loved, and they had some stuff that they hated, which they hated 3 things. They hated the fact that there was no be a pro type of a mode, and they felt that the animations were stiff as a board, in their words. And I would agree with that, because that's pretty much my issue with the game. Animation wise, the guys look pretty stiff. They really did. So even though I know it was 2010, I thought they looked a little stiff. Videogamer.com actually rated the game I believe it's a 3 out of 5 that they rated it. So that's okay. Not anything that you're gonna go crazy about. And then finally, the last one we'll look at is the grade from Eurogamer.net. Eurogamer.net score. Let's look and see what that has. A 7 out of 10. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good, right? But not anything overwhelming. But this goal here is something I gave up. I always did like the replay suite, though, for PES. In some ways, it's a little bit better than FIFA, but it's another one of those things. To me, FIFA is to world football. Not FIFA. PES is to world football what MLB 2K was to baseball, because MLB 2K had some elements that were actually better than the show. But they were more or less small and not nearly enough to make up for the humongous positives that the show had over it, which is more or less the reason why MLB 2K franchise has been canceled. Now, Pro Evolution is still going. They're still trying to revamp some things, and the word is for the next PES, which is going to be on next gen, is that they are redoing, revamping everything. So I give Konami and the developers for this game or this series a lot of credit, because they could have hung it up a long time ago and just said, hey, we can't compete with these licenses. We can't compete with, certain things like that. But they haven't done that. They have continued to try to make the continue to try to compete. They do have a cult following, though. I mean, you got websites, PES Edit blog, where, they try to really bridge the gap between the, between the game not having some of those licenses. You're not going to find a much better editing tool than what you have on Pro Evolution Soccer. But the problem with that, of course, is, are you going to have enough gamers that are going to be willing to do that? And that's the thing. There's just not enough people who are usually willing to do what they have to do to make up for the licenses. And then if you look at FIFA having so many other licenses already, and then the gameplay at this point having surpassed PES, it really is kind of like, what's the point? It's like, what's the point? It's now it's getting to the point where, instead of being like the MLB 2K to baseball, now it's getting to be the point where it's like the NBA Live of basketball, because Live is falling behind drastically in graphics, which is obviously the biggest deal, and it has a couple things from a gameplay standpoint that people like, that like real sim people like, and that's similar to something with some of the things with PES. Some of the guys really like a couple of the simulation options, but like I said, it's not nearly enough to make up for what FIFA has. And I almost gave up another goal, so that's that. But that's it, man. I mean, but if this is a game that you owned, or if you're really a big time PES fan, you just hardcore like that, you just committed, you're not even caring that FIFA's probably a better game, then this might be something you want to dig out of the bargain bin at your local GameStop or something like that. Try to find out whether or not you can get it for $7.99 or something, and you might actually have a ball with it. But what you see on the screen right now is pretty much a reason. It shows you why we knew that PES really had a lot of strides it needed to make. And yeah, and this lead that Manchester United has on me is probably indicative of the lead that FIFA has on PES. So we'll see what happens moving forward on next gen. I almost get an opportunity to reset the whole scoreboard between the two franchises, and I'm rooting for PES to get a little bit better. Just to get a little bit better, so that the two games can be more even. It'll be better for gamers just all the way across. So we'll see what happens. But that's this episode of Throwback Thursday. It's late, y'all. It is late. I apologize. It's still Thursday somewhere in the world. Y'all know normally I'm right on the I'm right on the money with the time on Throwback Thursday. You'll usually be able to see it every Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time. Today there's a lot of stuff going on, so it's a little bit late. But nonetheless, this is Throwback Thursday. I'm Franchise Play. Subscribe, follow. Peace.